Hello students, we are going to study here about the topic Introduction to Polymer Chemistry. Polymer, it is a very important branch of chemistry. The process of formation of a bigger molecule from many simpler molecule through mutual bonding is called as polymerization. And the simpler molecules undergoing polymerization are known as monomers. The bigger molecule forms, they are called as polymers. So in short, what we can say, these polymers are complex giant macromolecules made from the repeating unit, and monomers are small simple molecules and have a capacity of forming two chemical bonds with two other monomers. So how we can define these polymers? These polymers are interlinking of many units of monomer. They are called as polymers. Polymers are macromolecules. That means they having high molecular weight. The overall development of the polymer in polymer science and technology has enriched our human life. It is a very important branch of chemistry because it have the number of applications in our day-to-day life. See, all these biopolymers like carbohydrate, protein, nucleic acid, all these are the biomolecules and these are biopolymers. These natural polymers which are found in nature, they are generally obtained from the plants and animals, and they play a very important role in the human life. They include proteins, globulin, insulin, polysaccharides like starch, cellulose, nucleic acid, that is DNA, RNA. So all these are the biopolymers. They have the wide application in the industrial field, like in the manufacture of plastic, glass, tires, paints, like that. And also it having that other applications like in the medicine fields, in the manufacture of different type of drugs, also medical instrument, in the sports field, in the for the preparation of different type of balls, in the lenses. So it having the number of applications, and therefore it is a very important branch of chemistry. In the polymers, mainly there are the two type of polymers, organic and inorganic. The glass and concrete, these are the example for inorganic polymers. And plastic, uh, now these paint, tires, fibers, these are the example for the organic polymers. Mainly the topic contain two part. The classification of these polymers on the type of on the mode, there are the different modes of classification, and the half part of the topic it contain the examples for the polymer. So first we see about the classification of polymers, and which is based on their source. So mainly they are classified into three types: natural polymers, synthetic polymer and semi-synthetic polymers. Natural polymers that we get from the nature, that means from the plants or animals. See here that cellulose, jute, we get these polymers from the plant, and also we get here the silk from the silkworm, wool from the sheep. So these are the type of polymers which we get from the plant and animal, and these are totally nature. The totally we get from the nature. The synthetic polymers, these are the man-made polymers. Means these polymers are synthesized in the laboratory. These are called as the synthetic polymer. And the example for such type of polymers are nylon, terylene. Again more example like PVC, polythene, Orlon. So these are the example for the synthetic. That means these are the man-made polymers. And semi-synthetic polymers, these are actually we get the source for these polymers are is from nature, but these are processed. Means that by doing some process, by adding some chemicals, the quality is increased, and therefore these are also called as regenerated fibers. Example: cellulose, acetate rayon, cuprammonium silk, viscose rayon. Means semi-synthetic polymers, they have the quality that quality is increased and quantity is also increased than the fibers which we get from the nature. So that is the classification of polymer which is based on the source. Next type of classification of polymer, which is based on their structure. That means how the monomeric units are linked together, and they are classified into the linear polymer, branched polymer, and cross-linked polymers. First, linear polymers. That in case of these linear polymers, the monomers are joined together to form a long straight chain of polymer molecule, and this is called as the linear or straight chain polymer. Example, polythene, nylon. Now see, in case of this linear, all these monomers are joined together and they form the chain. And in case of the next branch, that is a branched chain polymers, the monomers do not only combine to produce linear chain, but also they form branches of different length along with this main chain. So as they form the branching, these are referred as a branched chain polymer. So due to that branching, that they form the low density polymers. Example, glycogen. Polythene, it is example for both linear and branch according to their density, that if it is in the straight chain polythene, so it is a higher density, and if it get branched polythene, so it forms a low density. Next one is the cross-linked polymers. In this, that whatever we are having that structure, see, for the linear polymer chain, the linear polymer chain are joined together to form a 3D network structure. Means they form the more branching and they get joined to each other, and what they form, they are the network-like structure. So these type of structures are called as the cross-linked polymers or network polymers. Example, bakelite, melamine, formaldehyde resin. So that is the classification which is based on their type of structure, how the monomers are attached with each other. Next type of classification of polymer, which is based on the mode of polymerization. That means polymerization reaction, how that reaction is takes place, by which way the reaction takes place. First one is the addition polymerization, condensation polymerization, and ring opening polymerization. Now first we see about the addition polymerization. In the addition polymerization, the unsaturated monomeric molecules undergo the repeated addition reaction, and mainly in presence of catalyst oxygen O2, organic peroxide. So they form the addition polymerization reaction. Mainly the compounds which contain double bond, they undergo the polymerization reaction. So double bond containing compounds like vinyl chloride, mainly the vinyl polymerization is very commonly takes place in the addition polymerization. Vinyl chloride, acrylonitrile, they shows the addition polymerization. And see one example for that addition reaction, formation of polythene. When ethene undergo the polymerization reaction in presence of traces of O2, and important condition is that peroxide. So at the in that condition, it forms a polythene, a polymer polythene. More example, conversion of vinyl chloride to polyvinyl chloride, isoprene to natural rubber. Again, that propylene to polypropylene. These are the example for the addition reaction. In the addition polymerization, remember that small amount of organic peroxide is used. That role of that organic peroxide is it act as a free radical initiator, and therefore we are going to study here about that free radical mechanism, which is an important part of this addition reaction. And mainly it contain the three step, that which reaction, free radical reaction, that is a chain initiation, chain propagation, and chain termination. So first now see that free radical mechanism, and the step one, chain initiation reaction, means that reaction is carried out by the chain reaction initiated by the free radical, and mainly the free radicals are used. These are benzyl peroxide, acetyl peroxide, tertiary peroxide, and they used to produce the free radical. See the reaction, acetyl peroxide, bond between these two oxygen single bond, that peroxide bond it break, it form the two acetyl radical, and next step is removal of CO2 with the formation of free radical, that is a methyl radical. And this methyl free radical, it reacts with the vinyl monomer, formation of a new radical. In the next step, we require that new radical with the vinyl monomer. Means this is a chain propagation step. In the first step, we just initiate the reaction in presence of peroxide. In the second step, and what we get that first in the first step, that new radical, it is reacted with the monomer, that is a vinyl monomer. Structure for the vinyl group, CH2 double bond CH, and with that X, that is the vinyl halide. And chain propagation means that chain is going on, increases here, and formation of the polymer, it gets started in that step. The new radical form initiate step reacts with the another molecule of vinyl monomer. And the last is the chain termination. Termination of growing chain takes place. That means it is carried out by the combination of two growing chain, and therefore the polymer reaction gets stopped here, and we get here as a that polymer structure. So these are the three steps for the addition reaction. Next is the condensation polymerization. The condensation polymerization, the process of formation of polymer from polyfunctional monomer with the elimination of some small molecule like H2O, HCl, CH3OH, NH3, means elimination of these molecule takes place in this type of reaction. This is called as the condensation polymerization. Means if you are taken here the formation of nylon 6 polymer. So for that adipic acid and hexamethylene diamine reacts with each other, formation of nylon 6 with the elimination of H2O molecule. So like that, whenever there is a removal of or elimination of some small molecule takes place, these reactions are under the heading of condensation polymerization. We take here one reaction, one example for the condensation polymerization. Formation of terylene or polyester polymer. Monomer required for that reaction are ethylene glycol and terephthalic acid. See the structure for ethylene glycol and terephthalic acid. Ethylene glycol, which contain two OH group, that is a dihydroxy compound, with the terephthalic acid. So in that reaction, OH group from the ethylene glycol and H from the terephthalic acid, and they eliminate the H2O molecule. Means removal of H2O molecule takes place, and formation of terylene takes place by forming the bond between CH2 and terephthalic acid in by C double bond O, that is ester linkage is formed here. So the removal of H2 takes place, and therefore it is example for the condensation type of polymerization. It is also known as step growth polymerization. Next, ring opening polymerization. In the ring opening type of polymerization reaction, the cyclic compound shows such type of reaction. Means the monomers are in the cyclic form, and when they form the polymer, the ring it get opened. Like see the example epsilon caprolactam. On heating with the H2O, in presence of H2O, ring it get opened and formation of a nylon 6. In epsilon caprolactam, the 6 CH2 group, that 5 CH2 group and 1 C double bond O, as it contains the 6 carbon, therefore it is called as nylon 6. How these are the 6 carbon? 5 from the CH2 group and 1 from the C double bond O, and 1 NH group. Therefore they get opened in the nylon 6 structure, and therefore this is are mainly shown by the cyclic ethers, lactones, which are in the ring form, and the ring opening polymerization takes place in this type of reaction. Next type of classification of polymers on the basis of intermolecular forces. Now see, polymers can also be classified according to their intermolecular forces. Means the forces of attraction such as van der Waals forces, hydrogen bond in between the polymer chain, and they are classified into 4 types: elastomers, fibers, thermoplastic polymers, and thermosetting polymers. Mainly, this shows the differ in their mechanical properties of polymers like tensile strength, elasticity, toughness depend upon the intermolecular forces, and these are the 4 class of these polymers which are based on the intermolecular forces. We see one by one here. First one is the elastomers. Now see here the that intermolecular force of attraction between the polymer chain are weak. They have high degree of elasticity and they consist of that molecular chain of irregular shape, and they having that very that shape is having a few cross link, and that is the example for the see elastomers. You just remember the example, that is a rubber band, means when we apply the force on it, it gets stretched, and on the release of force it restore its original position, and therefore they are what we can say, these are the elastic in nature. So that is about the elastomers. Example, vulcanized rubber, Guna S, natural rubber, neoprene, these are the example for the elastomers. Next one is the fibrous polymers. That is a polymeric solid which forms a thread like structure. These are called as the fibers, and the fiber polymers have that less stretchable property than the elastomers. Okay, and because that polymeric chain in them are joined together by a strong intermolecular forces, like that they form the hydrogen bond, and therefore they are not so stretchable. And as they form that hydrogen bonding in between them, they form the sharp melt, they show the sharp melting point also here, and their properties also increase here, that stretching property is get hardened here. They shows that high tensile strength which resists the breaking under the tension. Nylon 66, terylene, these are the example for the fibrous proteins. Next one is the thermoplastic polymers. In the thermoplastic polymers, they are when you are that property of these thermoplastic polymers, these are in between the elastomers and fibers. That is, they easily molded and recycled. On heating, they become soft, and once they get cool, they get very hard. Means what we can say, that's the example for here the plastic bottles. Okay, that polymers, again that polyvinyl chloride, polythene, polystyrene, these are the example for these thermoplastic polymers. Thermosetting polymers, these thermosetting polymers, these are the rigid polymers, means during their formation they get shape on heating and they get hardened while hot, and once they get hardened they become infeasible. And the important property of thermosetting polymers are they cannot be softened by heating, cannot be remolded, and cannot be reused. And the property of this thermoplastic means that due to that they having that very strong bonding in between these monomers, very strong bond in between the polymers, and therefore they have the excessive cross linking of the covalent bond, and therefore these are the very rigid polymers. Example for this type of polymers, urea formaldehyde resin, bakelite, these are the important example for the thermosetting polymers. Next type of classification, which is based on the type of different monomers. Type of different monomers means that how many monomers we are using here for the formation of polymers means if you are having here that only one type of repeating unit in the formation of polymer, these are called as the homopolymers. Means polymer is formed from the one type of monomer is called as the homopolymer. Polythene, polystyrene, polyvinyl chloride, these are the example for homopolymers. Suppose that you are taking here polythene, so for that only one monomer we require, that is a ethene, like that. Copolymers, it is also called as heteropolymers. Copolymers, it is also called as heteropolymers, means which have two or more type of repeating unit, or which when we are using more than one monomers, that type is called as the copolymers. Example, say for the terylene, we use here ethylene glycol and terephthalic acid, two monomers. So this is the example for the copolymers or heteropolymers. Next type of classification, which is based on the biodegradability. that in case of the biodegradability, that after the certain period of time, some natural polymers degraded their own, that is they are called as the biodegradability. That is aliphatic polyesters, and mainly that aliphatic polyester and polyamide linkage, they undergo that degradation, and therefore these are under the heading of this biodegradable. The non-biodegradable, after the certain period of time, some polymers they do not degrade it on their own, and that is called as the plastic. These are the non-biodegradable, mainly the plastic. It is an example for the non-biodegradable synthetic rubber, thermocol. These are the example for non-biodegradability. So that is a classification which based on their biodegradability. So like that here what we complete. Now see that overall classification of these polymers, which is based on the source. They are classified into the natural, synthetic, semi-synthetic, which is based on the intermolecular forces, elastomers, fibers, thermoplastic, thermosetting, on the number of monomers, homopolymers, copolymers, based on the structure, three types: linear, branch, and cross-linked. Based on the polymerization, addition, condensation, and ring opening. And the last one is according to their degradability nature, that is a biodegradable and non-biodegradable. So what we complete here about the classification of polymers on the different modes. Thank you.